Cyclone Nation, what better way to kick off the 2025 college football season than cheering on your Cyclones in the Aer Lingus College Football Classic in Dublin, Ireland? Whether it's a quick trip to Dublin for the game, a multi-city adventure throughout the Irish countryside, or premium game day hospitality, there is a package for you. Visit cyclones2ireland.com for information on official travel and hospitality packages. That's Cyclones, the number 2, Ireland.com.
I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans. And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field. Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We can even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today.
Welcome in to another edition of Kickin It. For those of you that are watching the video version, you'll notice we're not in our normal spots. That's because our guest today is actually in person, like physically in the same space as us.
Yeah, and your microphone's doing all the viewers a favor.
Yep, and you can only see one eye on the screen, I think, and maybe just this fabulously floral shirt.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
I think I got style today. Anyway, I'm Jeff Woody.
You're showing the ground beef off pretty nice.
It's a little chest fuzz. I got nothing up, no lettuce on top of the head, a responsible amount of chest fuzz. Not too much, not too little. I would accept that trade. We're, as always, brought to you by Kelderman Manufacturing, who I imagine Jeff Kelderman has a reasonable amount of chest hair. Not too much, not too little.
A man with a strong grip, I would imagine, would have chest hair.
Does.
I don't have chest hair, so that tells you everything.
Because at one of the We Will events, he was there. Didn't you meet him?
No,
No.
Okay.
I did. I talked to him. Steel trap hands. Jeff Kelderman. So thank you to Kelderman Manufacturing. Also, thank you to the Iowa Pork Producers Association. Best pork in the land. Had a turkey BLT today. The B. Absolutely made it. And I'm generally more of a like breakfast.
Oh, turkey BLT. Where's the turkey coming in?
The turkey is like a deli turkey. In addition, you put regular bacon on it. So it's a BLT with turkey as an additional
BLTT.
meat. A BLTT, I guess. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Is that not just, it's just a rearranging of bacon, lettuce, tomato, turkey. So it's the same thing that I just said.
When you do your BLTs, you arrange it in the BLD, the L, the T?
Usually I go bacon on the bottom. No, bacon's, I guess lettuce, tomato, bacon. That's kind of from the bottom to the top.
Are you
lettuce,
a mayo guy or no?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bud. Definitely going mayo there. Anyway, so a turkey plus pork, bacon, lettuce, tomato. Terrific. And then also, don't have to be a dingus. Our guest is definitely not a dingus.
No, he's not.
Broke with Aer Lingus for the Aer Lingus College Football Classics. The next time you're going to see the Iowa State Cyclones in person. Exciting times here. But anyway, we're going to get to Jeremiah George. And I mean, he's one of my favorites. And like we're going to talk about it and we record the intro after the interview. I think people are really going to like this just because like his sense of his groundedness, his kind of compassion is just like, it just oozes everywhere. So I don't know. I think people are really going to like this.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. And he came in my junior year was his freshman year. So I got to play with him for 2 years and he's always been a hardworking dude. And he touches on that, which really someone of his size, I mean, he's 6 foot, probably 220 when he played 230. I don't know. He wasn't huge. I mean,
body fat's like -6.
Yeah,
like you give him a hug, like he will take body fat from you.
Yeah,
because he's that.
Like he's physically like a specimen. Like
right.
He's chiseled from marble. So like, but I guess in saying that, you don't find many 6 foot linebackers in the NFL. So he had to work his ass off to get there. And he talks about that too. So no, this is a good one. And he really gives you some perspective on life too. So hope everyone enjoys our interview here with Jeremiah George.
And now we're going to welcome in Iowa State legend, Jeremiah George. And I don't know, this one was extra fun to get for me because you've moved back to the Des Moines area and we've kind of been able to connect a little bit. So first off, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Glad to be here.
And second off, I kind of wanted to dive in because there are some people they recognize you as, 5'2". They recognize you as Jeremiah at Iowa State, or you played for the Colts, you played for all these different teams. But the thing that I really appreciate, so on the last episode, I kind of gave a heads up or like a kind of announcing why we had such a weird schedule because my mom had a heart attack. And that we've been able to talk about a little bit because you had a heart attack. And I think a lot of people misunderstand like heart attack, and they think this will never happen to me. This is always, it's only for old diabetic fat people, and it's all, you know, whatever. And your life changed really drastically. And we're going to dive into that, and we'll work back to Iowa State, because I think the perspective and attitude that you have now is so different than what you had when you were at Iowa State. So I wanted to start with, can you just kind of tell the story of of what happened with your heart attack and just the perspective shift that gave? Because like I said, I think it'll inform how calm and relaxed and perspective-full you are, as opposed to what people think intense Jeremiah George was at Iowa State.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where to start. So I'll start from as early as I can remember. And I've been filled in with how the morning went. I was stressed out, but it was almost like a calm, eerie kind of feeling, kind of vibe that I was giving off. And it was told to me. I called my mom right before I went for my run. And I was just venting and getting a lot of the frustrations that I had on my heart, or on my mind, on my heart. I was trying to get it off, but it wasn't working. Even in our conversation, she said it was the most upset she's ever heard me. And working out, it's easy, right? Mm-hmm. It's been something that, as athletes, we've done for what's felt like our entire lives. And this day, that's all I was trying to do. I just wanted to get a workout in before...
Get those endorphins flowing.
Exactly. Before I had the opportunity to be overtaken by my two kids at the time, my two angels. But the run was supposed to be maybe a 15-minute run. It turned into, I think, maybe 45 minutes. And I was literally just running the block, just running laps around my house and around my housing community, whatever. And I can't even tell you guys what song I was listening to or what music because I wasn't hearing the music. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about my entire life, and I was thinking about the highs and the lows. And my then wife at the time was coming outside to tell me, like, hey, you've been out here too long.
I got two kids in here. Get inside. Yes. Yeah.
I'm inside. And I collapsed right in front of my house. Me being Jeremiah George, who 5'2", whatever, collapsed. But yeah, let's get up and continue to run. And I tried to do that a second time, and that's when God shut it down, and he said, yeah, you need some help. And my wife at the time, she was able to call for help, and we had some brilliant neighbors who lived across the street from my house, and she was able to do what she could. She was able to have her husband come out. He did what he could, which was enough to keep me still alive. Mm-hmm. As the paramedics came and took over. And I was in the hospital for a little over a week. From what I've been told and from what my parents have told me, like my dad, he flew from Florida to Texas, and he said when he was getting on the flight, he thought he was coming to say goodbye. Mm. And now being a father, I couldn't imagine having to say goodbye to any of my children. Mm-hmm. for the last time ever. And yeah, it was scary. It was scary, but it was something that I was able to pull through and overcome. And it's been a challenge since it's happened. I believe I lost oxygen to my brain for maybe it was 2 to 6 minutes. There's no specific number that can be given just because of everything that was happening. But the paramedics, they believe it was in between 2 to 6 minutes, somewhere around there. But that was that, man. And I'm so happy to be here today. Seriously.
Yeah. And I think the reason why I wanted to start with that is just because like everybody, like I think we have a decent number of teammates and former coaches and stuff that listen to this, because we'll get texts every once in a while. Like, you know, somebody said like, oh, because we had McCarney and we had Coach Pope and oh yeah, loved whatever. And I think a lot of people.
We had Coach Shane Burnham on last week.
Yeah, Coach Shane. Energy still. Same thing.
I think he might have been drinking alcohol too. He was drinking out of red Solo cup the whole time.
Or it's just like pure, straight, unleaded coffee. Like high.
Coffee out of a red Solo cup.
Can we please bring this up as the conversation flows again, that Coach Shane Burnham, he was my recruiting, I don't know if it's recruiting coordinator or recruiting lead, but he recruited me. And although my memory is touch and go at times, I still can remember him visiting me at Clearwater High after, you know, I was given an opportunity to be awarded a scholarship, and it was a connection that was between he and I, my mother, and the Burnham family really helped me feel extremely connected to Iowa State. So I give Coach Wally a lot of credit to add into why Iowa State was chosen.
That doesn't surprise me, because he was saying how much he just really admired how hard, you know, the kids at Iowa State worked when he was there, and you fit that mold. I mean, you're a hard-nosed son of a gun that fits the mold of a Shane Burnham kind of guy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But it was never easy. But Coach Shane, Coach Wally, Coach Rhoads, like they were men that they pulled the best out of you, and I'm forever grateful for having the chance to work with them.
Yeah, but yeah, like the energy you're giving off now is just so content to me. Like that's just the vibe. Is that one of the things that always sticks out to me the most? It's like you and Chantrell were like two peas and on just the opposite sides of the coin, where it was like, you could just, there's a buzz. Now yours was more directed and focused. I'm going to be the best that I can. Chantrell is just like one of those moon rocks that you get from like Chuck E. Cheese. It has like it's a bouncy ball with a bunch of flat sides.
Yeah.
And
I don't have moon rocks. I had a mood ring.
Mood ring.
Up.
No, like the one
bouncy ball.
Bouncy ball with the flat sides. It goes all over the place. Sure. It's like you just took that and chucked it into a racquetball court and just it's going all over the place. And that was Chantrell. But like
he was also very squirrel. You know, he's also very
man.
Squirrel. I'm gonna go chase it. I'm gonna go catch it.
He's gonna catch it. And he's gonna follow it. He's gonna pick it up and he's gonna name it. And he's gonna make it his friend. But like that energy was like very. You were the kind of the directed focus point of that. And it's just kind of, I don't know. I really like seeing this Jeremiah that is just content and calm and cool with life.
He doesn't like the Jeremiah.
Yeah, the Jeremiah from before is just
like,
absolute dickhead. No, but you also, so let's bring it back at least a little bit, and we'll reel back towards Iowa State. You also got some time in the NFL. Like, can you describe, because we don't have a lot of guys that, we've had some that have played in the NFL. What's the difference between the NFL and college? Like from an experience standpoint, because there's training and then there's NFL training and there's practice and there's NFL practice. Like what's the difference between the NFL and college for you? Because you played for 4 different teams?
4 different teams.
Okay.
Yeah. I will say from my perspective, the difference is in 2010, before players at the collegiate level were getting the opportunity to get paid.
Wait, you weren't paid?
No, come on.
And they were getting kickers from Lindmar a bag.
Money was not on the practice field. And I say that like I may get in trouble for
no one listens to this, so just you can
touching the quarterback's shoulder. Right?
Yeah,
okay. Like, I'm gonna get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Unless you're Latimer and you just smoke steel. Either way, yeah.
Oh God. And in the NFL. It's kind of like my welcome to the NFL moment. I got cussed out by Rex Ryan.
You show him your toes and everything was fine.
When I had my opportunity to take out, I was blitzing, and I had the opportunity to hit the quarterback, but you're not supposed to. You're supposed to just, hey, I could have done damage if this were a real game. And that was the biggest difference for me. Like seeing that the NFL was like, do not touch him. Okay. And that's the first and the last time you will ever hear me say that. And those weren't the words he said. There was a lot more.
I imagine Rex Ryan said a word that rhymes with duck.
Yeah.
A substantial amount of times in so many permutations.
Either run until you puke or show me your toes.
I think for me, what I could take away from my college and NFL experience was like, that was the biggest takeaway. Like players were valued, right? But then that value was known. This is more than just your teammate. This is a player, a person who works for this entire organization, and this entire organization relies on him doing well on Sundays. So do not touch him. Do not effing touch him. Yeah. Don't get close and breathe on him.
So kind of feeding off that too, you after you were in the NFL, you I believe came back and you were coaching, strength coach for a little bit, and you were with
the Ants, right?
Yeah, were you with the Ants at Texas? Yeah. So,
yes.
And I want to ask you, obviously, being inside the Texas, their facilities, are incredible compared to Iowa State. It might be kind of closer.
It's probably pretty
might be
close
closer
now.
Yeah, might be closer now.
It's very close.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very close.
So how was the? We've Jeff's kind of alluded to. We've had a bunch of former teammates, coaches from Iowa State from our time on. We kind of know what the culture was at Iowa State. What was the culture like at Texas? Because you think Texas, you think big money, you think arrogance, you think the Big 12. It was quote Texas and Oklahoma. So what was it like when you were coaching there? Obviously coaching under Yant, so that was a familiarity, but under Tom
yes.
as well.
So Coach Yance McKnight, all right, Coach Tom Herman, right? They were at Iowa State, and then being at Texas, I felt like that it wasn't so much, this is Texas, everything's bigger in Texas, because the very hard-nosed, gridiron men, right, that coached us, were now in positions to coach the great talent, right, that Texas has the opportunity to enroll in their school and play. So I saw some incredible athletes, incredible young men who couldn't quite adjust to what type of energy Yancey McKnight, Tom Herman,
that's such a polite way. That's such a polite way to put that. We were talking about F-bombs before.
Man, come on.
There are not two men who are more effective with the use of the F-bomb than Tom Herman and Yancey McKnight. Like, and I don't mean like in volume of use, but in just the way that it is used,
the efficiency of
that term with Yance and Herman is just the best.
I think their delivery, right? Their delivery says a lot.
And really, just like if it's included in like words that are like said at you, like to like to bring you down, like you're brought down, like you're in the pits of hell, like man.
But in the other side of it, and I think this is a thing that like I really appreciate about both of them, and I feel like Yancey was more because you as a strength coach, like or as a player, you're around the strength staff all the time, 24/7, 365. Like you pretty much sleep in the weight room. You interact with them all the time. The coaches are out recruiting or they're trying to game plan. You don't see them as much, so you interact with the strength coach a ton. So that's really who your culture builder is. And the thing that that I loved about Yancey, and we actually had Yance on last year
His audio was terrible. He was recording from a russet potato. We could not hear anything he was saying.
But the thing that I really liked about Yancey is that he was so fair that, like, if you're doing poorly, you will absolutely know that you are doing poorly.
No doubt.
But if you're doing well, you will absolutely know that you're doing well. And he's going to make sure that everybody knows that you're doing well. Like that F-bomb, when it's used in your direction, that like in a negative way, you feel like an absolute ant. But if he's using that on your behalf to everyone else. Like I remember there was one time where we were running sprints and I was beating James and Chantrell and whatever. And he was like, this white dude from Central Iowa is kicking your asses, whatever. And like, he said that loud, not like kind of both to needle James and Chantrell, but also to prop me up to say, you're doing a really good job. That like those, if you're doing well, Yancey McKnight will make sure you know you're doing well. But if you were on the other side of that coin, boy,
was it too, obviously Texas, they can get almost anybody they want in the country, Could you tell right away, like when you're a strength coach, and I'm not shit on Iowa State, we had some shit teams when we played. Could you tell right away when some recruits came in like, oh, this kid's got it, or like these are higher level athletes? Because obviously we beat Texas a couple of times. We had no business beating them.
Nah, we did. Yeah, we did.
We absolutely did. We absolutely did. But I will say, to answer your question, it's like you go to the car dealership, right? And you see all of these beautiful rods out on the lot. And you're like, man, I want that, right? And that's what it felt like being at the University of Texas, right? And
on 6th Street or with the athletes?
With the athletes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Man, you want a 4-door SUV, right? We'll get you black on black, whatever you want. Whereas if you're at Iowa State, you can look at that black on black SUV, but you know damn well you're not getting that.
You're going down the street, getting yourself a rust bucket.
You're going to have what I had, a 1996 red Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Hey.
Get you from point A to point B.
It was not some super nice ride, but it could get you from point A to point B. And the athletes that we were getting at Texas, they were incredible athletes. Being an incredible athlete, this is my opinion only, I felt like it hurts a lot more than it helps, especially when you have coaches who are trying to help you become more than just a great athlete. And
what do you mean by that?
Being a football player, right? There's specifics that are needed to learn and needed to understand in order to operate at a high level, right? In the fourth quarter, when you're about to lose, right? When you're damn near on the goal line and you have to stop the man across from you. You have to know, okay, this is the type of speed I'm going to run with. This is the type of impact that will be expected from me, whether that's as the ball carrier or the person who's tackling the ball carrier. Like, this is what's needed in order to do my job and to stop the person across from me. And just because you are a incredible athlete, can jump 38, 35, somewhere in that range with your vertical leap, does not mean that you have the explosiveness needed in order to make that stop. And I think sometimes coaches and athletes misunderstand that. And I think when we were at Texas, that yes, we would get incredible athletes who could come in and understand what their job responsibility was on every single play, regardless it be the first quarter or the fourth quarter. But there were at times more athletes who, man, it doesn't matter. I run a 4.4. Man, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll make the stop when it's needed. Well, that stop is needed every single play. Mm-hmm. And it just got more and more obvious that sometimes Maybe it was a 3-star. Maybe it was a undersized guy who just didn't care about the stars and just wanted the opportunity to play football to the best of his ability. And they won at times more than they should have, in my opinion.
So I want to ask you too. You're from Florida. Some call it the crib. Where and you coached in Texas. Where are the better athletes from? Florida or Texas? Or Iowa?
Oh,
It's definitely Iowa.
all right. Florida, Texas, and Iowa. Okay. Now, the better athletes. It's got to be Florida. It's got to be Florida. I mean, athletes, Florida. Football player, right? Whether that be a wide receiver or a offensive defensive lineman, I may be going with the state of Texas.
Man.
Only because spending time in Texas and seeing the ins and outs of how football is treated year round there.
Yeah.
I got to give it to Texas.
So it's funny you say that because like I think Jansen Watson and Keith Blanton almost came to blows about Texas versus Florida like twice a month. You know, like always. It was funny.
Like serious.
Like legit. Like you think you look across the locker room and they're like kind of jawing at each other, whatever. And a locker room is a lot like brothers, and
No doubt.
you know you and your brothers would argue and whatever, and then you kind of brush it off. You're like, you know, punch them in the shoulder and be like, you want to go get some lunch? Yeah, cool. But it started that way, and then like it just kept escalating, and you're sort of like, do we need to go get these, like pull them apart, because this is stupid.
Meanwhile, there's 4 guys from Iowa just sitting there legs crossed eating popcorn. We're not even in this conversation.
Hey, Mulcahy, what do you think about this one going on over here? But you also, you mentioned the Florida and Texas, and you spent time in Texas. You spent time at the University of Texas, but also as a coach on the performance course.
Yes.
A lot of our listeners are from Iowa. I mean, there's a national audience. Is Texas football or is high school football in Texas as insane of importance as I think it is? After having the performance course is just a strength coach that's essentially embedded within schools. Is it as insane as I think it is?
Could you define insane?
As in, it is the most important thing.
Yes.
Above your school, above your relationships, it is the most important thing for a 17-year-old kid who plays football. That thing is the most important thing.
Yes. Deservingly so, though.
It goes football, faith, family.
They'll say it's another order, but
Man,
you don't go to church for 16 hours a day on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
listen, I love the game of football, right? It's special. And I say the young men in the state of Texas they are reminded always that football is so important, that it is the key vehicle to take you anywhere you want.
That's your future.
That is, if you want to do well, right, in life, use this football to get an opportunity to extend your education, and then use the opportunity gifted to you in high school, college, wherever the case may be, to then open up more paths towards success.
No pressure, kid.
Like no pressure whatsoever.
You're 15 or 60,000 people that are watching you.
Little 8-year-old just running up hills. What's your kid doing? He's getting himself a scholarship. If he doesn't, I'm going to disown him.
Man, I grew up loving the game of football since I was yay high. I'm probably still right, somewhere in there.
Undersized linebacker,
man,
a big human, small linebacker.
Chiseled out of marble.
Man, being from the state of Florida and knowing the love that we have for football, there's nothing like it. But the state of Texas, like their football is it's different. It's different, and I say that with nothing but respect. It's different.
Yeah. I kind of want to, one more thing on the, like to redirect it from other professional portions to this different professional portion, playing the NFL. Is there a, cause you landed with the Colts for a while and you were on the active roster for a while with the Colts. Were you were there with Andrew Luck, weren't you? Cause I think we were talking about a story. We went to a basketball game together. I remember on the way up there, you're talking about your Andrew Luck story. He's a guy that like, his own path, man. Like he is hacking away through the trees. He is not following a beaten path. Your interaction with him, because he's even a legend for the 8 or 10 years that he played. I think you had a fun Andrew Luck story, and I don't know if there's any other players that kind of stuck out to you as far as like, wow, that dude's a professional, or that dude's really good, or that dude is a freak. Like I don't know if there's anyone else other than that Andrew Luck, because I think the Andrew Luck story was cool. But if there's anybody else that you had that you experienced an oh shit, that guy's really good moment.
T.Y. Hilton would have been there too.
Yeah,
he was a dog.
T.Y. Man, I think I told you this while we were driving, but Jason Witten.
Oh yeah,
I mean he
with Cowboys,
extremely detailed and taking care of himself as Jason Witten, football player. Yes, but I'm Jason Witten, the man, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't mean that the man, and this is how he conducts his business affairs and everything that has to do with him and his family and everything that he handles it the same way he does fourth and one, mm-hmm. right? First and 10, it's all the same with incredible discipline, incredible details. But just to touch on the Andrew Luck story, I got the opportunity to go to Indianapolis from Dallas on a tryout basis. I got the opportunity to, hey, we're getting ready to go into camp. We'd love to see what you can do. There's no guarantees whatsoever. Just come out and see how it goes. And at that time, like football, it was everything that I wanted to do. Being in the NFL was everything, right? And it meant everything to me for so long. But it's like getting your dream car, and then after driving it for a week, this is still your dream car. A month, like, yeah, this is my dream car. 6 months, okay, I got to put some tint on it, right? Mm-hmm. To make it more my dream car, right? Mm-hmm. Or I need some new rims or something. I personally lost a little bit of the love that I had from the game. Mm-hmm. But being in Indianapolis kind of helped rebroadcast my love for the game. And I was there on a tryout basis, but I don't want to sound arrogant in saying this. Like, I knew that I was going to have an opportunity to make this team. Mm-hmm. So I'm treating OTAs and whatnot, I'm treating it like it's the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, it's for sure. We're prepared for the Super Bowl right now. So I'm getting there. I'm like one of the first in the building every single day. And it was just because I was finally having fun with the game of football, but I realized that it was something a little bit more. Like, it was a challenge. Like, maybe it's these voices in my head, but something's telling me, nah, you can't do this. And I'm out there with the opportunity to prove, like, yes, I can. Mm-hmm. But Andrew Luck, he wasn't, I believe that offseason he was recovering from some type of surgery. I don't know. And I was the first one in the building, or one of the first few individual players that were in the building. I'm not talking to anybody, and I'm not making it a point to get to know people, because again, this is a tryout opportunity. I may be gone, right? Like, it was nice to meet you, but now I'm on another one of the 31 teams. So I was trying to do my best to come in, do what I needed to do, just take care of my mind and my body. And I'm not sure if it was a coach or one of the athletic trainers, but they brought it to his attention. And I don't know if it was because he asked, like, who is that guy? You know, why is he, doesn't he know we have practice much later in the day or whatnot? I don't know, but just the energy and the interactions that we had once I ended up making the team was kind of like, you worked for this, and I appreciate how hard you work. And I don't know, I credit my parents for that, but in moments like that, it was like, okay, like, continue being you, Jeremiah. Like, continue being the hardworking young man that you know you can be. And it was special. It was special. It was appreciated, and it's something that, though I have a pacemaker, a defibrillator, though I have this inability to recall everything that's happened in life, I can still remember that, and it felt good. It was certainly special, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and that's that, like, just the leadership of it, and I think that's one of the things that, like, I really appreciate. And you look at guys that do it well, and it's the Peyton Mannings, it's the Lamar Jacksons, it's the guys that everyone points to. Who's the leader in the room? That guy. And like Andrew Luck, not knowing who you are, asking an athletic trainer who you are, introducing himself and saying, "Hey, I'm Andrew. Nice to meet you. What's your name?" You know, actually saying, "Jeremiah, how's it going?" Like the janitor in the room, like Carl was always like the janitor at Iowa State. His name is Carl, like head of
Still there.
head of sanitation. You would always just run into Carl and like swore like a sailor, but like you interact with Carl and like that type of person is, I don't know, like leadership is getting to know and giving a shit about the people that work with you, under you, around you. And like, I don't know, that example of, yeah, you get there first, Andrew Luck gets there a little bit later, you sit there for a couple weeks and you're not interacting with anyone. Andrew Luck goes, "Why is no one interacting with this guy? I'm going to go interact with this guy." Gets your name, gets your information, goes to talk to you. Like that to me is just a leadership example. So for people that have, for any kid that is on, like whoever, or parent of a kid who's on a team, if you want to make an impact, is talk to the kid that's on JV, on the freshman team, on the sophomore team, on the 8th grade team that doesn't feel like they're interacted with. That's leadership, is just going to talk to them.
Leadership, to your point, and when I think of some of the men that I got the opportunity to play with, it's like, yes, you're talented. Yes, you have this crazy athleticism. Yes, you have this incredible mind that gives you the opportunity to go out there and dominate. But it's, do you dominate, and then are you also willing to, I don't want to say help, but show and display what's needed outside of just knowing, hey, this is the actual play that we're running, or this is the actual route that you're supposed to run. It's showing the important details of, when you run this route, make sure that you get at 10 yards and then you lean into the defender, or you lean into the coverage and then break out. It's something as small as that. Like, it matters. And I think some of the best gentlemen that I've been around, they can do that without making the student feel inadequate or feeling lesser than. Like, in that was, it was incredible to be around these gifted players, but knowing that, like, you were taught this, or you picked this incredible skill up, and are being personable enough to reach out and show your younger counterparts how to do it as well. And that's incredible to me. Seriously.
When you think about your Iowa State days, what comes to mind? Like, what are some of your best memories?
It was just a lot of fun, man.
For me, whenever someone asks me, like, "Oh, like, what do you miss most about Iowa State?" Yeah, like the games and stuff were fun, and practice was whatever. It was the locker room, just hanging out, dicking around afterwards. Yeah. But specifically talking about games, what were some of your, like, your most fun moments, the most fun game? Was there ever a moment where like, because you played you didn't redshirt, right? You played as a true freshman.
Played as a true freshman.
Yeah. Was there ever a moment where you're like, I'm here. This is Big 12 football. I'm not that I've made it, but I'm here.
No. The I made it moment. So when I look back and think of my college football experience, it was so much fun. It's really hard to put into words, man. And I don't want to get choked up and emotional, but like some people will never understand what I'm saying, even if I try to put it in the simplest form. It was so much fun. I can go back and look at pictures, and despite my memory being what it is, I can look at a picture and maybe not feel what I was feeling when that picture was being taken, but it's like, damn, I can still remember that whatever was happening, like we were having fun. And it wasn't like this is fun. No, it was on a scale of 1 to 10, like it's past 10. There's a picture that my parents took, my mom took maybe my freshman year. We were playing at Iowa. So my second game of the season. And I
would have
think
been 2010. Okay.
Got shit kicked out of us.
Yeah, it was not
murdered.
a game in which we played well or it was.
I think Money
but
scored
it
a
was
touchdown.
fun.
I think Money scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter though. To instead of losing like 36-0, we lost 36-7
Man,
or something like that. That's
Got him in
anyway.
that was fuel. That was fuel that was needed in years to come. But I look at those photos and I'm like, damn, man, did I appreciate what I was experiencing?
In the moment.
Like, yes, I was, but like not how I look back and like, damn, if I could go back and do it all over again. I had more fun in college than I did playing in the NFL. And my dream was like, I always wanted to play in the NFL. My dream was never to hey, I'm gonna go to Iowa State and become a team captain someday. And no, but now when I look and compare the two, I'm like, that was everything.
It's because after practice, Jeff and I were playing snaps and the Colts with you, right?
Man. Yeah, that's why. That's exactly why.
Oh, man.
Man, it's like whether it be me being from Florida,
Crib,
respectfully, and meeting somebody who was from Texas, California, or Iowa, and realizing that like, damn, we really not that far apart in how we think. Like, I may carry myself a certain way, and I may conduct myself a certain way, but when we step on the football field, we care about the same thing. Like, we care about winning. We care about working extremely hard, working harder than we even personally thought that we were capable of. And being able to join forces with somebody who you spend so much time with, but I mean, I didn't know Jeff Woody before I came to Iowa State.
That surprises me.
Man, you know, like I didn't know what someone from the state of Iowa, how they look, how they loved the game of football. I didn't like, everybody looks at the game of football a different way, but and these were men, these were people who watch and understand the game the same way that I do. And they want to be as successful as they can be, as well as I do. And I appreciated that so much. I appreciate that being 33 years old. And I'm like, damn, I don't know. Like, young Jeremiah, you have no idea, right? The opportunity in which you have right now. If I could go back and tell my younger self that, it would be that. It'd be like, hey, listen, because you have no idea what this experience is gonna do for you in life.
And I wish like the guys on the team now understood that, like just how fast the four or 5 years go, and like you are in like. I don't know if any of the guys on the team listen to it, but it's like you are in. When they talk about the good old times, you're in the good old times right now. You are your experiences now are something to look back. 15 years or so for me now and be like, damn, those were good times.
When I think about what could have been like a horrible time. Being at Iowa State, whether it be the summer,
the snow,
at the Field of Dreams, or in the winter when I'm walking from, the side ride to Freddie Court, right? And I'm thinking to myself like, nah, this ain't for me. Like I don't want to be here.
It snows for the birds.
Like a lot of people don't know this, but I told my parents. Like every day as a freshman, I'm a transfer. I'm a transfer. And my mom, my dad, like that's not who we raised. Like you stay there and stick it out. And I was like, nah, I'm transferring. Like I'm out of here.
I mean, even being from Iowa, those early morning workouts.
Come on, man.
Me,
6 a.m.
Guy and I we'd drive together, and one of us would, we'd scrape a hole in our not a hole, but like a visible square in our windshield, 4 inches by 4 inches, just so we can see. No one else is on the road, and then the other person would be just in the fetal position in the passenger seat, just like trying to stay warm, knowing that the car is not going to get warm enough by the time we go from Freddie Court to the Hickson or to the Jacobson.
I remember there was one time I think Jansen didn't have a car his first year or two. Maybe it was longer than that. And he lived in the same building that I did. And so we would ride together every once in a while. I'd drive him to our 6 a.m. workouts. And there was one time where, and Jansen, Crip from Florida, it was like an ice storm. And I'm trying to stop on what's now Jack Trice Way, 4th Street. I'm trying to stop going south on University. And I start braking like halfway through the Hilton parking lot. Yep. And I just slid right through section, had to go all the way past to the next, keep trying to brake and turn all the way back around. He was mortified that this is a place that he chose to live, coming from Kissimmee.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like I chose this.
Yeah.
I had other opportunities. I could have gone elsewhere, but I chose to be here.
This is your choice.
Yes.
Were you on the team? Actually, you probably might have been too young when it flooded.
Oh, that was 2009.
You were?
Wasn't?
No, what do you remember?
It would have been your freshman year, I think, right?
Yes, okay. It was my freshman year.
Like right when you got here.
I remember right. It was during like camp,
it was fall camp.
Fall camp.
Yeah.
So that would have been the second year, or my second year, my 2010.
His first year. Yeah,
it would have been 2010.
It was hard to get from Freddie Court. It was hard. I mean, it was hard to get through Ames. We had to do the sandbags.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was there.
Didn't have a workout.
I was there.
Didn't practice. Yes. Just okay. We're gonna sandbag and make sure.
Which was fun as hell. Like retro.
It was fun.
And that part was fun. The part that I didn't like is that after that we then had to practice that afternoon.
Yes.
And there's no power in the indoor, so it's only they just have the bay doors open.
Yep.
And
I don't recall that. I mustn't have practiced that.
Yeah, you probably didn't.
Or maybe
you just didn't. Oh, I couldn't make it. I think A-Rob said they couldn't make it to practice because he was like flooded in, and he went, I'm not coming. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Bro, it was.
But I remember we practiced. It was like 110 degrees and it just rained. There's pools of water and it's like 105 degrees. So it's just humid. And there's in the indoor, how to keep the indoor temperature down. They have these giant fans on one side that are legit like 15, 20 feet tall that just blow air, and it's just to circulate it because it's not air conditioned. Well, power's out because it was flooded. So there's no air movement. It's 110 degrees in a barn. And it's just evaporating all this water. I remember that was the most miserable practice that I was a part of, was after we had to sandbag because of that freaking heat. And some of the guys weren't even there because they were flooded in.
If you could go back and do it again, how fast would you?
I would do the first part. I'd do the sandbag. I still wouldn't practice that day. I still wouldn't practice.
So I think Jeff's got one final question for you.
Was the ball out against Texas?
Hey, do you have Coach Rhoads his post game? His post game, you could pull up here.
Is 2011?
Hold on. Before we get to that point,
You can pause it right now if you need to, Aiden.
yes, the ball was out.
God damn right it was.
It was.
I still afterwards that's still one of the most frustrating games.
Because I think, Aiden, isn't that one of the like most viewed videos on Cyclone Fanatic, like on the Cyclone Fanatic YouTube channel?
Oh, I would love to see it.
You haven't seen it? Or in a while, probably?
Maybe a while. It doesn't.
Oh, God. Coach Rhoads is just
Please,
like vintage.
This is vintage pissed off Paul. Like it is.
And this is exactly the coach we played for too. Obviously, you know, being a player's coach and just
Absolutely.
like, you know, always having our backs.
Man, I think about the relationship that I had with Coach Rhoads, and it was real. It was real. It was special, and I think about the growth that I had being a freshman to a sophomore, to a junior, and not thinking of myself as like, you could go to the NFL someday. Like wanting to have that confidence, it was slowly dying. And then having the opportunity my junior year to play a little bit more and then start to, you know, believe in myself once again. And then being able to spend time with Coach Wally, Coach Burnham.
And you're between Jake and AJ too.
Right.
I mean, that's two dudes to learn from.
No doubt. And then also using Coach Rhoads, like, what are you seeing from your high up perspective, right? You're the head coach. So what are you seeing that maybe the defensive coordinator isn't seeing, or the linebacker GA, what is he not seeing? What are you able to tell me that I could be doing? And it was some of the film sessions that he and I would have. This goes back to my junior year, my senior year. Hey, coach, I got an hour in between classes. Can we meet? Even if it was like 15, 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'd come in and we'd meet, and he would pull out plays from maybe it was 2 games prior and say, hey, these are the things that you did wrong. Okay, these are the things that you kind of are starting to understand, but these are the things that you need to emphasize. And it was that on a weekly basis that really helped me grow and become a better football player. Like Yancey, Coach McKnight, he was doing a great job, like helping me develop my body. Mm. But Coach Wally, Coach Burnham, Coach Rhoads, they were doing such a phenomenal job and really helping me mature and understand what was needed from me in order to be the player that I knew I was capable of being. And yeah, man, let's see.
That's the kind of coach you want to play for.
What you witnessed tonight were a couple teams playing their hearts out. And you could argue both deserve to win the football game. I've got the privilege as the head football coach of this football program to face my players, win or lose, and look them in the eye. And feel how proud I am of the work they put forth, the effort they gave tonight, and to make a play on the 1 yard line with their backs against the wall, clear to everybody, and have it taken away from them. That's hard to express. You don't just put an arm around a guy and tell him it's okay when that happens to him. So proud of the effort my kids gave to win this football game tonight.
Ooh, there are no walls safe after watching that.
Man. God bless.
Bumps, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't watched that in what was that, 2011, 12? I haven't watched that since then.
Yeah.
Man. I love the cadence that comes back to all the.
He's very good about pausing.
I had the privilege, beat, of being in a locker room and that kind of stuff, man. If it's the same thing with Yancey, like you get on the right side of Rhoads, you're gonna get that energy defending you and kind of pushing you up. But if you're on the wrong side,
I hope when Coach Rhoads' coaching career is over, which I hope is not over for a while, he's at Mississippi State now. I hope he comes back as a professor at Iowa State teaching public speaking courses. I would take it.
I hope that he is embraced as much as Coach Mack is. To me,
he will be.
That's the thing that I hope the most for Rhoads, because like in the grand scheme of things, Iowa State was ass before McCarney got here.
Yeah,
I mean, legendarily ass before McCarney got here, and McCarney made it respectable by the time he was done, and then he was tipped a little bit. Chiswick got here, which on the surface, you get the defense coordinator of the national championship team to come be your head coach.
He brought in some dogs.
It makes sense. He did a good job recruiting, but didn't win. And then that could have ended it, like McCarney gets him up to Seneca and Sage and Brett Meyer and Todd Blythe, and all of a sudden Chiswick gets here. You win 5 games in 2 years, bring in some dudes, but then he bounces, and that could have been Iowa State going back to the basement, and it wasn't because Paul Rhoads got here, and that energy got into every single kid, every single adult that was associated with the program. And Matt Campbell is not here if Rhoads allowed that program to die on the vine. And so to me, McCarney sure built it, but like without Rhoads, that thing, you pumped up a tire, but you never plugged the hole and it's going flat again. And like that to me is if Rhoads, I hope that Rhoads, when his coaching career is done, like McCarney's is done right now, when he's done, like I hope he is embraced as much at Iowa State as McCarney is. Cause to me, like, again, that's the reason I went to the university. That's the reason why I loved being there. And I just hope that he is embraced as much as I think we all like him.
I feel like I'm going to use a Jeff analogy for a second. I feel like, I feel like Coach McCarney, we were a family, we're a family looking for some place to live. And prior to McCarney, we had no place, we're just kind of floating in the wind, and McCarney bought the plot of land. Coach Rhoads then built the foundation. And I take that back. McCarney bought the land. Chiswick metaphorically and not metaphorically dug the hole. Coach Rhoads built the foundation, and then Coach Campbell has built the house and
expanded on it and added some additions. And
how's that for an analogy?
That was good.
Thank you.
Hey, well done.
Thank you.
Good job. That's a 10 out of 10. Stuck the landing.
So that's all I've got for you, Jeremiah. I really appreciate you coming on with us, and good to hear from you. Good to see you. I haven't seen you since I graduated.
Man, guys, the love that I have for Iowa State football is high up there. But the love that I have for my teammates, it's like neck and neck with my family, because for 4 years of my young adult life, like I was away from my family and I only had my brothers, whether it be it's flooded in Ames and I need somewhere, or I need someone to help me get to practice. Like it was my brothers who were, hey, I got you. All right, well, actually, who's going to help me get to Hickson, right? Because I got to go study. Or maybe it's snowed in. And knowing I'm from Florida, I don't want to be anywhere out and about if it's less than, I'll say 70 degrees, right? But showing me like, man, like you can have a good time here. Like just come out, come out.
That's right.
And we'll take you on well shit. I had a great time, man. And I thank you guys for having me on the show, but I truly thank you both for being there for me when I didn't even know how much I needed you at the time. So I love being back in Iowa. I I love being around Iowa State, the university, as much as I can be, and I love being around you both. It's special, man. It really is.
We love you as well. I'll come give you a smooch.
Thank you. No
tongue.
No tongue.
Just kiss. All right. Thanks, JG.
Yeah, we
I appreciate you guys.
That was Jeremiah George. Really appreciative that he came on and shared his story. Man, he's been through a lot. Obviously, coming from Florida, Creo, and then being in Texas, and where he had his heart attack, and obviously your mom had suffered a heart attack. I'm glad to hear she's doing well, doing better. He had a heart attack as well too, obviously, and he made it through. But gives you really a big perspective on life, and just I would just say, don't wait until it's too late to tell your loved ones that you love them, because you never know. You never know when your last day will be. Obviously, he was going for a run.
He was going for a run.
And like I said, built like a god.
Yeah.
You never would have thought. You think people who they're out of shape, their cholesterol's high, this, that, and the other, are the people who are having heart attacks. But Jeremiah George, like you said, has negative body fat. Not really, but
yeah,
basically.
It is just talking about that, don't wait till it's too late to tell someone you love them. I was at an event and Dan McCartney was actually talking, and he used a phrase that I'm sure is not unique to him, but when delivered by Dan McCartney, it has some impact. And he has used the phrase, everybody dies, but not everybody lives.
That's good.
And using that kind of thought process of live to the point where if you have a friend that you haven't talked to in a while, shoot him a text, give him a phone call, say you're thinking of him. If you have a nice thing in your head that you want to say to somebody, say it. Just that kind of just everybody dies, but not everybody lives. And I feel like Jeremiah exemplifies that.
Yeah, I like that saying. Mine too is, are you making your days count, or are you counting your days? So just for some perspective, because we lost a former teammate too a few years ago, Walt Woods.
Yeah.
So
Beach Del Walt.
Yeah. So you don't know when your last day is going to be. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Sweet. Well, I appreciate all of our loyal listeners who are still listening. And as always, remember, adapt. Don't shop.